Hello and welcome back to another NFL reactions video where today I am going to be reacting to the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game just by looking at the box scores just because I don't want to get copyright claimed. But that's all I got, so let's just get right to it. And the first game that was played was the New England Patriots, my team, sealing their way to Super Bowl 60 by narrowly escaping the Denver Broncos and Jarrett Stidham. So, just looking at the Patriots here to start, Drake May honestly had such a terrible game. He went 10 for 21, 86 yards, no touchdowns, didn't throw a pick. He did get sacked 5 times, but he almost had as many yards on the ground as he did in the air. But Ramondre Stevenson did get the bulk of that yardage on the ground with 25 carries for 71 yards. Drake May did punch in the only touchdown for the Patriots on the ground off of a pretty decent run, I might add. Receiving was pretty lackluster other than Mac Hollins putting up 50 yards, but that is what happens when it starts pouring down snow, you know. But the defense was very clearly led by Christian Gonzalez as he ended the game on a beautiful interception, kind of redeeming himself after getting burned off of the only points that Denver scored on the first couple plays of the game. But they did get to Jarrett Stidham 3 times, and Borregales went only 1 for 3. But that field goal that he got did win us the game. One of those was ridiculous. They set him up for like a 60-something yard field goal that I don't think anybody could have hit in those conditions. But the only thing that matters is that the Patriots won this game. To me, that is the only thing that matters. But now we got to take a look at the Broncos, as Jarrett Stidham had objectively the better game than Drake May, but he did throw that pick at the end of the game that ended it. The rushing for Denver was not as good as the Patriots, but that is what happens when the conditions are terrible. And receiving was also kind of lackluster, but Cortland Sutton did have that receiving touchdown. And I'm pretty sure it was Marvin Mims that burned Gonzalez at the start of the game, which was not fun to watch. But, at least we still won. At least the Patriots still won. But that Cortland Sutton touchdown was also really good. That was a beautiful ball from Stidham. The defense for Denver did get to Drake May 5 times, but that was pretty much all that they did because there wasn't an awful lot. I mean, both defenses were great, because most of these drives just were 3 and out, maybe a first down, and then 3 and out. But honestly, just a boring game. And then Will Lutz actually missed a field goal that would have won Denver this game after it got tipped, as you can see right here. I'm not going to play the clip, but just looking at my mouse, it did get tipped. And I lost my mind when I saw that, and then Denver immediately had the ball. So I was terrified, but then, Gonzalez being Gonzalez. I'm actually going to buy one of his jerseys, so you'll probably see me having that on here at some point. Bottom line is, New England Patriots going to, I think it's like their 13th Super Bowl or something ridiculous like that, or 12th or 13th. I know it's their 10th Super Bowl appearance since the year 2000, which is ridiculous, but they are looking to win ring number 7, tying Tom Brady and beating out the Steelers as the Broncos go home and chill in Cancun. And now we have the better game of the two, which was the NFC Championship game, where it saw the Seattle Seahawks beating the Los Angeles Rams 31-27, setting up a Super Bowl rematch with the New England Patriots. And now, as you may be able to tell, I suddenly have a hat on in between those cuts, and that is because this hat is from that last Super Bowl. The Malcolm Butler goal line interception Super Bowl, I might add, but I don't think the Patriots are going to get that lucky again. But just taking a look at the Los Angeles Rams here, we had Matthew Stafford playing he just played a beautiful game, I got to be honest. He went 22 for 35, 374 yards, and 3 touchdowns, no picks. The rushing wasn't as good for the Rams, but, he can't do that when your quarterback almost puts up 400 yards. Receiving was led by Puka Nacua, who had 9 receptions for 165 yards and a touchdown, putting up some Madden stat line. Devontae Adams had another one of the touchdowns off of 4 receptions for 89 yards, and Kyron Williams also got a receiving touchdown, making up for his lack of a rushing one. But the defense was honestly not great. I mean, it is Seattle. They did get to Sam Darnold 3 times. They couldn't pick him off. They forced a fumble that they couldn't recover. And Harrison Mevis, I still don't know how to say it, kicking 9 points for the Rams. However, it was not enough to beat this extremely dominant and extremely scary Seattle Seahawks team, which we are now going to take a look at as Sam Darnold put up one of his best games I have ever seen him play. He went 25 for 36, 346 yards, and 3 touchdowns with 0 picks. Kenneth Walker III also had a day on the ground, 19 carries for 62 yards and a rushing touchdown. Receiving was led by my personal offensive player of the year in Jackson Smith-Njigba with 10 receptions for 153 yards and a touchdown. Another one of the passing touchdowns went to Cooper Kupp, beating his old team in the Los Angeles Rams. And another one went to Jake Bobo, which I thought was really cool to see because that's not a name that you see very often. But the Seattle defense only got to Stafford once and forced 2 fumbles that they could not recover. Jason Myers kicked them 7 extremely needed points. And it is a Super Bowl rematch between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks in San Francisco on February 8th. And honestly, I'm terrified because the Patriots have not looked good in this postseason. They have played some of the best defenses in the league in the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Texans. I think they ranked first, third, and fifth. And I'm pretty sure Seattle is sitting at that number 2 spot, but the Pats offense needs to do a lot better. But I'm going to save the rest of my thoughts for my Super Bowl prediction video because, of course, I'm going to make one because it's the Patriots and then hopefully make one after they have won. But that is going to do it for today. I would like to thank everybody for watching this video. Obviously, it is a little bit shorter, but, you can only do so much. But I think we're at 219, which actually just went up today. So, these Madden videos are doing great. I obviously have to cover football when it's still coverable. But I think the plan is for me to just keep doing some head-to-head, incorporate some Madden rebuilds, because those are always fun for me to do, and then maybe get some Superstar in there too. And just kind of shift this in the off-season to completely Madden content. And who knows, maybe I'll cover Stanley Cup playoffs, start a baseball, maybe NBA playoffs too if I can get 2K. But, yeah, that will be doing it for today. I would like to thank everybody for watching, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.